Turning now to the two royal insiders who are set to spill the tea. Victoria Arbiter and her dad Dickie are launching a behind-the-scenes YouTube show.
Yeah, the pair are opening up all things regal, sharing insights not heard before and busting some of the biggest myths of the family behind the crown. For more, we are joined by royal commentators Dickie Arbiter in London and Victoria Arbiter in New York. Good morning to you both. This sounds like you have had a whole lot of fun putting this together. Now, take us through some of the myths. What are you busting here?
Well, I'm going to jump in then just on this one, but I think one of the biggest for me, and it's been one that's been perpetuated by the Crown time and time again, is the suggestion that the Queen forbid Princess Margaret, her younger sister, from marrying Peter Townsend, and that from that, Princess Margaret led a terribly miserable existence. Now, yes, Princess Margaret did have her challenges, but in the early 2000s, the National Archives released papers that showed actually the Queen went out of her way to make that marriage work. She worked with Anthony Eden. It was Margaret that said no. And another one, which then, Dad can speak to more, is this idea that Princess Diana was given no help behind the scenes when she first married into the royal family. Certainly, I think the royals could have done more, but in terms of that early training, he was one of the journalists that gave Diana her very first media training. And so those are the types of things we want to be able to talk about. That is knowledge that comes from living it, experiencing it, and certainly in Dad's case, being there for some of the most pivotal moments in recent royal history.
OK, this is fascinating because you're right. I believe the Margaret one. Dickie, let's take us back to your time with Princess Diana.
Well, my time with Princess Diana, I first started as a court correspondent, as a radio journalist, way back in '77. And I was there for the wedding. I had tea with both Charles and Diana the day before their wedding, just the three of us. And shortly after they got married, I was invited in to give Diana some media training. No holds barred. We were left completely alone, and I was able to ask her all sorts of questions and steer her in the way to answer them. Now, a myth that I really want to dispel is this whole business of the Queen and late Prince Philip didn't like her. They adored her. They went out of their way to help her. And she adored them too. She would call Prince Philip Papa. She would call the Queen, Your Majesty. But they really did go out of their way to help her. And they felt terribly let down when she did the Panorama interview. But, let's forget about this whole business that she never got help. She got a lot of help. She got help from me. She got help from courtiers. She got help. Sometimes they don't want to take it, but most of the time she did.
Wow.
It's amazing. And obviously between the two of you and those conversations that no doubt you have had behind closed doors and now that we get to listen into, it's quite exciting and great to hear. Thanks for joining us. Can't wait to watch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is going to be good. All the juice, because, Dickie was really there.